everyone, it's time for another round of exciting stories in News Generation. My name is Ifo Akwa Harrison. In this edition, the police has been in the news for all the wrong reasons. We'll be explaining the police recruitment scam and also take your thoughts on it. Street children in Accra, where are they from and how do they live? And a special teacher for pupils of liberty for JHS. These stories and more coming up this edition of News Generation. We'll be right back. Remember, you can always join us via social media. We're on facebook.com/newsgenerationgh. We're also on Twitter @newsgengh. Speaking of social media, I'd like to read this comment Humaiza Aliyu sent to us. He says, this goes to the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. We, the final year students who would be writing our WASSCE exams very soon, want to know if the President is aware that we are paying school fees for the third term, and so we want to know the reason why, and also why we are being given new uniforms for 35 cedis when first years are in check uniforms. Well, Humaiza, there was no directive that you wouldn't be paying third term fees. You are not supposed to be paying third term fees and second term fees maybe in a term altogether. So I hope I've clarified that. Let's go on to our first story. Homeless or abandoned, they eat, drink and bath on the streets. They end up sleeping on hard cold floors in front of shops at Kaneshi Market in Accra. Their day either begins with begging or carrying loads for people. This is the ordeal of 13-year-old Jacob Gegenu and his friends.
It is a new day, but not one that offers a fresh start to children here on the streets at Kaneshi. This is 13-year-old Jacob Gegenu. Jacob eats, drinks, and in fact, sleep on the streets. He lives his whole life here.
My mother and my father stopped the marriage. That's why I went for them. I come here. I come and sleep.
When my parents divorced, I couldn't get food to eat. My mom wasn't working, so I followed a friend here.
Jacob begs to live because he is not strong enough to carry loads like his peers.
It's good to pray when you are about to sleep. If you don't pray, you can die and no one can understand what happened to you.
In spite of this, he faces a lot of dangers here, but his only option is to endure. Jacob might have lost many values as a child, but certainly not his faith.
When I wake up, I thank God for protecting me from bad people. I would be dead if not for God's protection.
But Jacob does not face these struggles alone. John Donko, who is 13, also lives on the streets of Kaneshi. Just like Jacob, John is on the streets because his parents are divorced.
My father told me that he don't have money. So he gave me to his brother to take me to Nigeria to go and work. Then I told the brother that I don't like the work that I'm doing. I want to go to school. The man told me that it's not school, that's why my father gave me to her. It means I should come and do hard work before. Then I told him that because of hard work, that's why I'm coming here. Me too, I can't stay there. I want to be back to my village.
For John, living on the streets is an uncomfortable ordeal he has to endure.
When I don't have money to go and buy to school, I'll go and carry load. After the load, then I'll go and buy if I go to school.
After struggling to fend for themselves in the day, they find home in front of these shops.
Yeah, na me yamu shishime pa. Anti ya bad time no. Kakra me pesa me ka kire omo ne se omo ba fifia. I get very anxious seeing these kids sleeping here. I'm pleading with mothers, they must not allow their children to travel to Accra.
As these kids sleep on this cold floor, they think of becoming noble people one day. Yet, until they are taken off the streets, they can only grapple with reality that it might never happen.
How hundreds of street children live in Accra. Now, a lot of people got stranded at 5 police training academies when they went to start their training programs. The people thought they had made it into the police service, but they were told they had been defrauded.
Hundreds of people only got to know they had been defrauded when they got to the police training academies. They had packed up for the training process, thinking they had really been accepted into the police service. They were disappointed though, as there had been no recruitment exercise.
I think that the recruitment scam is bad because those who are supposed to be protecting us are rather doing the bad. So if they're the ones that are supposed to protect us doing the bad, they want to have those who are just common here. Like what will they do to churches and schools? So I think that we should try and educate people more on how to go about it if they want to enter any services.
I believe that if our leaders keep on doing this and children are watching them, the children will learn, and from generation to generation it will keep happening. The country will be at a standstill.
First of all, I think promotions and positions should be given to people according to what their ability, what they can do, because that's how we get promoted, based on the exam facts. As in, you are qualified enough to do this, you are qualified enough to do that. So I don't think our ballots or money should be used to determine what someone can do. Because after all, you might end up placing someone in the wrong field, and then this is just like an example of it. These people pay money and get into the force. And when they get into the force, they do the same thing over again, corruption.
The scam has made news headlines, with the Minister for the Interior, Mark Woyongo, saying he got to know about it months ago. It turned out the people had paid monies to make the procedure of becoming policemen and women easier. Director General of Police Human Resource Development, Patrick Timbila, was placed under house arrest under suspicion he had authorized the scam. He has denied involvement, but he has been banned and cannot go to his office or the police headquarters.
Well, I think what the leader will do, the children follow. So if he's found guilty, I won't be surprised if this matter rises up another time, because he is in control. They are supposed to look up to him, and if he does that, then his subjects are supposed to do the same.
I feel that we are not safe in this country, because if someone in a high position is doing this, we are not safe. Everyone will be doing anything they like.
If this continues and people in high positions keep doing this and they are not checked, they'll keep doing it and keep doing it, and the lives of us Ghanaians will be at stake.
When these things come out in the open, within a few months they are swept under the carpet. Nobody hears about it anymore. So I think that they should punish whoever is to blame, so that it will serve as a deterrent to the others.
The necessary sanctions should be taken against him. Sometimes when people in high positions do wrong and the case is taken to court, the necessary sanctions are not taken and they let them go free.
The police service is investigating and some arrests have been made.
And let us know what you think about this story and other stories we've shown you on this edition of News Generation. We're on facebook.com/newsgenerationgh. We are also on Twitter @newsgengh. Now, first, it was the Chinese chairs bought for members of parliament. Now, the new judicial complex in Accra is getting Chinese furniture. What happened to the president's call for the consumption of made in Ghana goods? Hear your views in WhatsApp.
You hear the president talking about patronizing made in Ghana goods. and then you see the judiciary getting chairs from China, importing goods. It's still the best, because I'm sure we have talented people in Ghana who will be able to make these chairs or even better ones. But then, if he's always saying we should patronize made in Ghana goods and he's not doing the same thing, I don't see why we should also patronize made in Ghana goods. But that's all just import everything we have.
Some Ghanaians have the mentality that we don't have the skills enough to really produce what will satisfy them. But at least they should give us a chance, like our fellow Ghanaians, because we have our this thing, but we just need the opportunity to just broadcast and show it. So they should give us a chance, because I'm sure the local people could have done better than the China where they imported.
But they are not advertising themselves. How do you expect them to?
Well, they need support to advertise themselves.
But they know that there are local people there who can do this thing.
How do they know? How do they know?
So you are in Ghana, you don't know that they are local people.
I know, but I'm not heard of them.
Well, we're in a country that talks about unemployment. People don't have jobs to do. And here's a chance to create jobs for the youth. And we just go import goods from China. So those in government who could have set a good example, employ you to make the furnitures for the judiciary complex, go and import China chairs. I think that there are certain motives behind the importation that we do not know about, maybe personal gains or other things. That's why I think it's not a good idea.
I heard either the parliament or the judiciary one, it got broken down. So like it was inferior, it wasn't superior.
I think this was a very wrong decision, because there's still a little controversy because they bought chairs from China for the parliament. And I go and do the same for the judiciary. They're not putting the people on the best terms with the government. If they make a decision, it's supposed to be a right decision. That will benefit all of us, not just any decision at all.
Well, I think that we should stop using our mouth to reprimand people in this issue, but I think that we should focus on implementing the law, and if there's no law, we should create a law so that next time when these things happen, the law will take its course.
When we enforce the laws, it can be broken. The laws, there are people there who don't obey the law, so normally the law is not effective, but it helps though.
The government should advertise some of the made in Ghana goods with their local forums, like the program GTV has been doing. They can organize workshops for the youth to enhance their skills, so that if the government wants them to produce any other type of furniture or anything, it will be more quality.
The government can also help us, the Ghanaian workers, by granting us loans when they see that we are capable of doing something, because there are a lot of small-scale industries in Ghana who have it, they have their skills, but then they just don't have the money and the resources to set up. And then when they give us the loans, we can set up and we create employment. We also pay taxes to generate revenue for the states to use in developing Ghana.
The government knows that there are small-scale industries and furniture making companies that can do the job equally as those in China or whatever. But I think that they just didn't want to give it to them, so we should pressure them to give those contracts to the local people, especially those in power who can do it. Those responsible heads of the various ministries can implement that. So we don't have a say, but those who are there can't try, so they should.
Your views on WhatsApp. Now, pupils of the Liberty 4 JHS have a very special teacher. He's physically challenged, but that hasn't stopped him from his dream of giving children knowledge. This is the story of 54-year-old Alexander Opari.
This is the Liberty Avenue 1, 3 and 4 and Manchitaki cluster of schools in Accra. It is located on the Liberty Avenue, one of the principal streets in the capital, en route to the Central Business District. There are over 50 teachers here. Among them is Alexander Opari, a physically challenged teacher who has been teaching since 1986.
1957. Which day and which date
He was not born like this. A polio attack he suffered when he was 10 years left him permanently disabled.
We were not having any medical facilities as we have today. So they thought it was the witches who have brought this on me. So they started taking me around the country from juju man to juju man, from juju woman to juju woman. And when my mother found out that she had spent all her money and everything on her, she also, gave it to God to take care of what will happen next to me.
But that did not kill his dream of becoming a teacher. Though he started as a pupil teacher, he went on to acquire the needed teacher set A to formalize his trade. With the help of the staff, he climbs and descends the numerous staircases in the school, but he is worried the school environment is not very friendly to his condition.
I'm very, very tired indeed. Descending the stairs are easier than ascending.
He says his disability gives him encouragement.
Every misfortune is a blessing. Yes. If I had not been like this, I might not have known. Maybe I will not be around by now.
His pupils obviously look beyond his physical inability and tell me he does more than just teaching them.
Again. Every day we are about close here. He always give us classes and always spend time with us in class. So always teach us how to learn. He always make sure that we should be short in learning. Even when we revise our notes, he give us note that he explain us the note that we can get understanding in our learning.
When I visited his class, he told me he takes his pupils on physical education exercise every Friday, but I missed that opportunity to see how he does that because I visited on a Monday. Despite this, how he started each lesson caught my attention.
Mississippi, go!
Mississippi.
Are your kidneys healthy? This is one way to keep them in good condition. Drink water. Drinking a glass of water is how the World Kidney Day team wants to protect your kidneys ahead of the day. Your kidneys are one of your body's most important organs. That's right, because it helps remove unwanted materials from the body. The kidney is the body's filter. Tiny filters in the kidney called nephrons help with the process. Everyone has two kidneys that look like beans. Blood goes through the kidneys, the waste is extracted, and then it comes out when you pee. But not everyone has a kidney that works, including children. There are people with chronic kidney disease. This means the nephrons in the kidney have stopped working. It usually happens over a period of time. Research has found that at least 8 to 10% of adults have kidney disease. For children and young people who have kidney disease, it is most likely due to a birth defect or hereditary disease. The disease has to be managed through treatment. Getting the dialysis or having a kidney transplant are some of the treatments for chronic kidney disease. If you already have healthy kidneys, keep them that way by eating well. And don't forget to drink lots of water. Kidneys healthy then. Now, an ice hockey player made the dream of a 5-year-old super fan come to pass. Kami Babias's wish was to meet her favorite ice hockey player and score a goal on ice for the first time. As part of the team's #What'sYourGoal campaign, which encourages people to share personal goals and wishes on social media, Chicago Blackhawks defenseman Duncan Keith took Cami for the first skate of her life. Cami was born with Rett syndrome, a neurological disorder, and is unable to walk or speak.
This is Cami. Cami was born unable to walk or even speak, but that hasn't stopped her from smiling. When Cami heard, "What's your goal?" her parents said nothing would make her happier than to score a goal with an assist from her favorite player, me. Well, I've got a surprise for Cami. We're going to teach her how to skate for the very first time. Hello. This is Cami? This is Cami. How's it going? Good to meet you. I heard you had a goal today. To score a goal with me out on the ice? You're gonna need a pair of skates to do that. Nice and tight. How does that feel? Is that cool?
I have lost 5 teeth. How many have you lost?
Oh, I lost 10 teeth.
I love the Blackhawks.
I love the Blackhawks too. Should we take a picture? Looks good, eh? You wanna go skate? You're not cold, are you? You gotta keep your legs warm. Oh, yeah.
She's smiling.
All right, let's give it a shot here.
Go, Cammy, go!
Go, Cam. Okay, you ready? We're gonna do it like Patrick Kane. Stare him down. Forehand, backhand. Oh! And then you give him a chop like that. Yeah!
Cammy!
Yeah, Cam!
Pump it up!
Go! Yeah.
What do you think, Cam?
You want to keep skating, don't you?
Very touching. Remember, Cami cannot talk or speak. So, I mean, walk or speak. Let's now take a look at other stories making news in a roundup. The case against businessman Alfred Abeshiwoyome will be ruled on March 12, 2015. He could be imprisoned or freed. The courts will decide whether Alfred Abeshiwoyome illegally obtained 51.2 million Ghana cedis from the state as judgment debt for an alleged contract government had cancelled with him. About 80 children rescued from a Boko Haram camp in Cameroon cannot remember their names or where they are from. According to an aid official who visited them, the children, who are between 5 and 18 years of age, did not speak English, French, or any local languages. The children were found at a camp in northern Cameroon in November. Giant solar-powered robots have been installed on the roads of DR Congo's capital, Kinshasa. The RoboCops let drivers know when it is safe to go by using red and green lights on their rotating arms. They also have a number of security cameras on them, which allow the police to keep an eye on the roads. 3 of the newest robots were developed by a team of women engineers who hope their robots will be used across the rest of the country. The Black Satellites of Ghana beat South Africa by 2-0 in the Under-20 Nations Cup in Senegal. This was in the group stages. The Ghana side now leads Group B with maximum points. Zambia will play Mali in the second match of Group B. A 95-year-old man has broken the world record for the over 95s 200 meters at the British Masters Championships. He completed the record-breaking lap in 55.48 seconds before taking a well-earned nap. Dr. Charles Exter took up competitive running only last year and has already broken 5 records. it for this edition of News Generation. Remember, you can always catch up with us on social media. We're on facebook.com/newsgenerationgh. You can also find us on Twitter @newsgengh. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your day.